three judges to give us some remarks about our students' presentation. And for those of you who haven't participated in this contest, you will have your chance. And I hope that everybody can join this kind of presentation contest in the future. All right? Let me hand over my microphone to Robin, and she will be giving you some of the instruction about today's presentation guidelines, and also introduce us, the three judges. All right?
Hi everyone, my name is Robin, and I'm your today's host. And let me introduce our three judges. First one is Huang Shunyu, manager. And the second one is Sang Jiasan, manager. The third one is He Qingyu, manager. And next, let me announce the rules. Each contest will have 10 minutes to give their speech. And we will ring the bell once at the beginning, and we will ring twice at 9 minutes health at once. And ring the bell at once at 9 minutes health, and ring twice at 10 minutes. And in 10 minutes health, we will raise this, and the contestant will stop their speech. And any question about the rules? No, if no question, let's take a photo picture first. Please come to the front.
Okay, every participant, please come forward, and the judges, please. Okay, please be seated. Okay, let's get started. Okay, number one, contestant. Tiger.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olivia Young. Today, I'm happy to have this opportunity to give your presentation to introduce a trendy technology product, autonomous cars. We're living in a fast-paced society. Everything changes rapidly. Especially cutting-edge technology is developing by leaps and bounds, and has made life much more comfortable and convenient for us. Let's take cruise control as an example. I don't know if anyone here has ever tried cruise control function before. I have, and I remember when I first tried this function, I was so amazed. Such a little button on a car can make life so much easier for us, let alone autonomous cars. I believe all of you must have heard of autonomous cars. It is also known as driverless car, self-driving car, robotic car, and autos. Some of you may be surprised about the fact that the idea of self-driving car was actually came out centuries before the car was even invented. It has a long history. We can trace it far back to the Middle Ages from the sketching of Leonardo da Vinci. beginning with Houdina Radio Control Company in 1925. They demonstrated the first ever autonomous car called American Wonder. However, it didn't make life any more convenient at that time, because it still needed someone to control it remotely. This is the vehicle called Firebird, displayed by General Motors during 1950s to 1960s. Currently, autonomous car is still not well developed, but it has already progressed a lot since then. The current concept now is with a lot of equipment installed. For instance, cameras, scanners, and sensors. There are a few companies have developed autonomous cars, such as Mercedes-Benz, Audi, and Tesla. Mercedes is the first company to create a radar assist ACC in 1999. Audi introduced AEdge in 2017 with Level 3 self-driving system, which means the driver can safely turn their attention away from the road. Although Tesla isn't planning to let their car to operate full automatically driving system, they announced they will use the hardware they can cooperate with the future software on every type of their cars. Now I'll show you a short video of Mercedes-Benz autonomous cars. Imagine living in a future like this, isn't it amazing? Although there are a lot of debates about autonomous cars, it is still a trend that will surely continue. Now, let me show you some pros and cons of autonomous cars. I'll give you 3 advantages of autonomous cars. Firstly, distractions. According to Centers of Disease Control, there are more than 33,000 people who got into traffic accidents every year. And most of the accidents are due to distractions. Drivers are easily to be distracted by many factors. For instance, phone calls, their surroundings, a noisy passenger will all distract the driver. However, a car that is controlled by a computer could never be distracted. The next one is parking and drunk driving problems. I believe everyone has lots of experiences of not knowing where to park their cars. Think about the situation that you and your friends are going to downtown to celebrate New Year. The area is congested and nowhere to park. but your autonomous car can drive you to the destination and go find a parking lot, or even drive home by itself. And furthermore, it can take you home after the party. And if you've been drinking, you can also be able to go home without a taxi, because there's no designated driver is needed when the car can drive itself. The last one is traffic problems. It can help solve traffic problems because of the sensors on autonomous car allow the vehicle to drive closer, thus increasing the capacity of the road. Now I'll give you 3 disadvantages of autonomous cars. Firstly, cost. The cost of an autonomous car will be way out of reach for most people. An autonomous car with all the new equipment and technology installed will cost more than $100,000 US. The next one is responsibility. There are some problems about how an accident with an autonomous car should be handled. The third one is malfunction. People are worried about handing all the decision-making process to a computer. There are numbers about if computer malfunction that will put themselves in a dangerous situation. Nevertheless, I still strongly believe that we will find a way to solve all these problems, and one day, autonomous car will surely bring lots of benefits and convenience to all people. In conclusion, autonomous car will definitely going to replace the car we're driving now. Despite all the factors I've mentioned, it will still take a long time to do so. Yet, great things take time. Just like Christopher Reeve once said, so many of our dreams at first seem impossible, then they seem probable, and then, when we summon all the will, they soon become inevitable. Thanks for your listening.
在，艺校班带在不在？方军老师，请你们要，你说要带走吗？还是要继续留下来？你们2点了，在一组。OK。
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Irene Zhang, and I'm very pleased to have your attention a few moments this afternoon. Today, I'm going to introduce a growing current technology in global economic nowadays called cryptocurrency. Also, cryptocurrency have been around since the 1990s, but they only have begun to capture the widespread public just recently. Let's take a brief overview of my presentation, which I will begin to define the term in common vernacularly for you. And following the definition, I will give you a summary of background that cryptocurrency is used in these days. And third, I will list some of the ways that which cryptocurrency are applied to contemporary life for consumer, as well as provide you a combination of growing appeal. In my conclusion, I will spotlight on either modern business or government thoughts. Let's move on to our next slide and take a look about the definition of cryptocurrency. The word cryptocurrency is a compound word comprised of two parts. Crypto is an adjective which means secret or secret, hidden or secret, and its meaning is encrypt here. And the word currency is a noun, which means a money that used in particular country nowadays. Join these two word parts give us new self-explanatory. Let's take a closer look. A cryptocurrency is a digital or virtual currency designed to work as a medium of exchange. Cryptocurrency use cryptography to secure and verify the transactions as well as to control the creation of the units. Essentially, a cryptocurrency is limited interest. If two different instructions are joined the system. In the next slide, I will show you a few criteria that makes a valid cryptocurrency. According to Jan Lesky, a cryptocurrency meets all of the following three conditions. First, the system does not require a central authority to achieve consensus on its states. It means the system itself can deal with the complicated process without other functions. Second, the system defines whether new cryptocurrency units can be created. If a new cryptocurrency unit can be created, the system will think of the origin of their own and determine how to create a new ownership of the units. Third, if two different instructions for changing the ownership are simultaneously entered, the system performs at most one of them. The point is that it can do multitask. On my next part of my presentation, I will give you a background of the cryptocurrency these days. During my presentation, you may notice that one cryptocurrency in particular has the highest name recognition, but there in fact are a few more of them. First, decentralized cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. As we know, it is the biggest unofficial currency right now. It was created by Satoshi Nakamoto in 2009. And there are a few more you may not have heard of. In April 2011, Namecoin was released. It made the internet censorship very difficult. Also, it can store a data by its own blockchain transactions database. In October 2011, Litecoin was created. According to, it can create a block in every 2.5 minutes rather than Bitcoin's 10 minutes. But there is also a disadvantage. That is, it will make the system very difficult to create and more expensive to persist. Here is another notable cryptocurrency known as Peercoin. It's the first system that uses proof-of-work hybrid, and it doesn't have the hard limit on the possible of number. In my next slide, I will show you a few applications of cryptocurrency. There are various merchants online, both online or offline, that accept Bitcoin as a form of payment. They range from massive online retailer to small local bars, shops, and restaurants. Overstock is an online retailer. Patrick Byrne founded the company in 1997 and launched it 2 years later. It sold exclusively surplus and returned their merchandise on the marketplace in the first place. Newegg is also an online retailer, and the items of its company concluding computer hardware and consumer electronics. Also, it has grown another 30% in 2005. In the same year, it was named one of the top 10 online retailers by Internet Retailer magazine. Here is also a point that Bitcoin can be paid for flights, hotels, jewelry, computer parts, even a college degree. We are now at the conclusion of my presentation, which I will underline the main information that I have shared with you so far. Many other cryptocurrencies have been created, though few have been successful, as they have brought little in the way of technical innovation. In August 2014, the UK announced its treasury had been committed to a study of cryptocurrency. In what role they can play in UK economy too. And this study was also reported whether the regulation should be considered. Here is a special insight from Bill Gates into the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency that one may make or break the future in public marketplace. Bitcoin is exciting because it shows how cheap it can be. Bitcoin is better than currency in that you don't have to be physically in the same place, and of course, for large transactions, currency can get pretty inconvenient. This brings my presentation to its end, and my time in front of you to its close. I am humbly grateful to you for your attention. I hope it was your while. Thanks for your attention.
好，下同学。好，其他的同学欢迎留下来，继续跟学长学姐他们学习一下他们的简报的一些技巧啊。
离开同学的话，就加快脚步，再来进行。要离开了，请你们赶快加快脚步。
好，赶快帮你做做好。
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emily Liu. Today, I'm going to talk about virtual reality and augmented reality. These terms have become more common in our daily life. Most people have already heard of them, but some are confused too. So, in today's presentation, I'm going to tell you exactly what they are. Now, let's start with virtual reality. VR, which is short for virtual reality. It is a computer-generated simulation or a replacement of one's environment. It will block out people's view and substitute the real world with a digital world that's designed to fool our senses. It ignores the real world and transports people to an entirely new place. Currently, VR is quickly becoming extremely relevant to gamers, 3D artists, architects, and even astronauts. Although VR seems more impressive because people feel they are in a different space, there are limitations to not being aware of their surroundings. People have to be in a controlled environment so they don't hurt themselves by moving around in the real world while thinking they are in a virtual one. Now let's look at its history. The origin of VR as a technology system can be traced back to 1962, when filmmaker Morton Kelly created the Sensoroma. It features stereo speakers, a stereoscopic 3D display, fans, smell generators, and a vibrating chair. Although it was absolutely revolutionary for its time, the idea didn't gain attraction. And in 1968, an MIT computer scientist named Ivan Sutherland and his student created the first VR headset named the Sword of Damocles. It was large and too heavy for any user to comfortably wear, and it had to be suspended from the ceiling for it to be usable. There are many VR hardware on the market. For example, the HTC Vive. The HTC Vive works with Stream VR-based station to track your movement, and the controller allows the users to interact with the VR world in front of their eyes. Unsurprisingly, the focus of the HTC Vive is gaming. There is also Oculus Rift and Sony PlayStation VR. Now let's move on to augmented reality. AR is a combination of actual reality, people's real-world surroundings, and a virtual one. This augmented reality can only be seen by special equipment, applications, or devices. Different from VR, its main purpose is not to cut out the real world and transport people to another one, but rather it is to enhance the user's world with a set of magical virtual objects in it. AR is adding information such as weather or direction to existing reality, and people are able to interact with all of it. When it comes to gaming, AR allows people to play with dollars because they can see other players. But the uses of AR are much broader than just games. The military uses AR to train the soldiers. Medical personnel use AR to prepare for surgeries. And for professionals such as designers and engineers, having the ability to view a virtual workspace could lead to better collaboration. Google Glass is also a great example of AR. It's like a smartphone or a tablet on your face. Based on the potential uses demoed by Google's video concept, the interactivity and utility that can be provided by the glasses are actually quite cool. For example, if your friends ask you if you want to meet, you can simply answer back by voicing out your response, and it will be sent back. Google Glass seems particularly useful when you are out traveling. You can use the glasses to take pictures and immediately share them with friends. While the concept is admittedly cool, there still are some issues that need to be addressed. What would the impact of the device be on vision, especially for people with certain health conditions? Can it be too distracting and potentially cause accidents? And will people be willing to wear these kinds of glasses for an extended period of time? And the next one is the Nokia Live View. It combines the GPS and camera on your phone. It can show you the restaurant, hospital, and shops based on your location. And it will also show you how far those places from your current location. And when you click the tag of the place you want to go, you can view all the information about the place. And this one is Microsoft HoloLens. The HoloLens works with apps built on Windows holographic platform, which let the developers convert Windows 10 applications to holograms for its head-mounting display. The HoloLens can also enable people to see their friends or family on Skype as a 3D image. Some people will use Snapchat or snow filters to take pictures. That's an example of AR. And when Pokemon Go was a thing, it's also an example of AR because it's like the characters appear in the real-world surroundings. AR technology can also change our shopping habits, affect retail, e-commerce, and fashion in a significant way. If you're a customer visiting a retail store, by using AR technology, you can view all the information about the products, such as